Hi, and welcome back to Focal Point AFR Talk, this Thursday edition. My name is Brian Fisher, the host of the program. The program is Focal Point. The network is the American Family Radio Talk Network. We broke this story on this program yesterday. The first place that this went into the public arena was what we said right here yesterday at right about exactly this time, that the United States military was blocking access on its computers to the Southern Baptist Convention website, and the reason that was given on the screen when people tried to access the Southern Baptist Convention, this is the largest Protestant denomination in the United States, when people on military computers try, and remember, we're talking here about chaplains. Chaplains are affected by this. They can't get on the website of their own denomination. It said that this site has been blocked due to hostile content. So in effect, our own military is classifying the Southern Baptist Convention as a hate group. Now, that's the story we brought to you yesterday. Here to help us break all this down is Todd Starnes. Todd is the host of Fox News and Commentaries, heard daily on hundreds of radio stations. Commentary heard right here on AFR Talk. Todd, welcome back to Focal Point with Brian Fisher.
Thanks, Brian. Glad to be back with you.
Okay, now, first of all, Todd, just want to clear this up. Who gave you the tip on this story?
Now, Brian, you know I never reveal my sources unless...
Okay, well, I will reveal your sources for you. In fact, I was so eager to get this story into Todd's hands, I called him in the middle of the program yesterday on a break, and I said, hey, Todd, we're working on something here. And so, Todd, I talked to you yesterday in the middle of this program. I said, look, this is something we're working on, the military blocking access to the SBC.net, the Southern Baptist Convention website, on the grounds that it contained hostile content. So I gave you that lead, and tell me what you did with it and what you discovered.
Yes, now that you have broken the seal of confidentiality, I can confirm that you were indeed our initial source, and we put out the all call like you did on the radio. We wanted to find out from many of our listeners and readers who are members of the military if they were experiencing similar issues. And we received dozens and dozens of messages from people. There were a couple who said they were able to access the website, but a majority said they could not, and they were getting the exact same message or something similar on their military base computers. We immediately reached out to the Pentagon for a comment. While I was talking with the Pentagon Public Information Officer, he actually pulled up the convention website, the denomination website, on his computer, so the ones at the Pentagon were not affected. And so they ended up telling us eventually, they told us that this was not true, the website was not being blocked, that if in fact it was an isolated incident, and it was the result of done at the discretion of the base commander. Now, Brian, we reached out to the head of the Southern Baptist Convention. Once we did that, they contacted their sources at the Pentagon, and late last night, surprise, surprise, the Pentagon sent me a statement, and they said that in fact the site had been blocked, and they called it unintentional, and that they were working to fix or to remedy the situation. But I'm telling you, as of just a few moments ago, we're getting reports from all across the country that soldiers are still unable to access the Southern Baptist Convention website on
Todd,
military bases.
I'm looking at an email we got this morning, 9:55 a.m., from an officer stationed at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. I tried to access SBC.net and also received the hostile content blocking message. This is 10 o'clock this morning.
And we just got, and I'm sharing this bit of, I wouldn't call it breaking news, but this is news that is just now coming into us. We have an individual on a military base, a civilian contractor. They tried to call up the Southern Baptist Convention website, and the information they got was very different. They found out that the URL was actually blocked by the administrator. So this individual is telling us, this guy's a computer guy. He says this is not some sort of an accidental thing. Someone specifically blocked the Southern Baptist Convention website.
So that sort of gives the lie then to the official line that you were given that this was unintentional. I mean, the Pentagon is admitting they blocked it, or that it was blocked. They're saying this was totally unintentional, total by accident. But you're getting information. No, they can see it right there that this was a decision made by the administrator of the website or the network.
That's what this one specific individual on a military base is telling us. By the way, that individual sent us a screenshot of the message, and he also said that he was able to get on the Council of American Islamic Relations website without any trouble at all.
Well, that was a question we had around here. What happens when you try to access Islamic websites? And you've just answered the question.
Yes, and we've asked several other soldiers and sailors to do the same thing, and airmen. We have been able to determine. I got a report in from the Florida Baptist Witness down in Florida that a number of chaplains are contacting Southern Baptist pastors. We're hearing reports at the Southern Baptist Convention headquarters in Nashville that they've really been overwhelmed with individuals calling and saying, hey, guess what? It's happening on our military base too. So again, the military tells us, the Pentagon says, this was an isolated thing and it was not intentional.
Well, I'll let you go after this, Todd, because I know you're a busy guy, and I really appreciate you taking time to be on the program with us, which is the least you could do since I gave you the tip. But this business about this being sort of unintentional, being isolated, and all that. In your story, I'm looking at it right here. You indicate, look, this is a long ways from being an isolated incident.
It is. The Chaplain Alliance, Ron Cruz, the executive director, I talked to him last night. He said that they're getting calls from Southern Baptist chaplains from all across the military. And you raised a very good point. Southern Baptist chaplains aren't even allowed to access their website. And this really is suspicious because several weeks ago we had evangelical Christians labeled as religious extremists and domestic hate groups, organizations like AFR and the Family Research Council. And now all of a sudden we've got the Southern Baptist Convention website being blocked. It's just really it's beyond suspicious. And we've got a follow-up story we're going to be posting later this afternoon, Brian. A lot of religious leaders across the country are just livid about this and say people should be very alarmed at what's happening in the military, and that stuff is coming from the Pentagon.
Well, and you think, Todd, about the role that Christianity has played since the very founding of this country. It was Christians that drafted the Declaration of Independence. 50 out of the 55 drafters of the Constitution were evangelical Protestants. The first thing that George Washington did as commander-in-chief is hire Protestant chaplains for the troops. So it's been part of our history from the beginning.
And what we are seeing here, and I want to be very clear here, we are seeing under the Obama administration a Christian cleansing underway within the United States military. When you look at the wealth of evidence, the pile of evidence, what else can you call it?
Well, Todd, we'll look forward to that story coming out, and always enjoy having you on the program. We'll look forward to having you on again, and I just appreciate you bird-dogging this issue and doing such great work for us.
Well, Brian, thank you for bringing it to our attention. I owe you, a six-pack of root beer and maybe some Nutter Butters or something.
Nutter Butters. Now, there you go.
And a Beta Springs root beer.
You give me a six-pack of root beer and Nutter Butters, I will call us square.
Man, we'll have a prayer meeting.
All right, our guest, Todd Starnes. You hear his commentary. He is the host of Fox News and Commentary, heard on hundreds of stations across the network, across the nation, including right here on the AFR Talk Network. And you think about the role, and I want to talk specifically about Protestantism. I'm not dissing anybody else. Don't misunderstand me. I'm just talking about the historical fact here about the history of the United States. It was because the Southern Baptist Convention is the largest Protestant denomination in the United States. Now think about our history. Protestants drafted the Declaration of Independence. Protestants drafted the Constitution. I went and checked my sources today. 55 framers, signers of the United States Constitution. Of those 55, 50 of them were Protestants. 2 were Roman Catholics, and 3 were deists. So 50 of the 55 framers of the United States Constitution were Protestants. The first commander-in-chief of the Continental Army, George Washington, was a Protestant. First thing he did as the commander-in-chief is he hired Protestant chaplains to minister to the troops. He often ordered them on Sundays to attend, quote, divine service, end quote. Not an option, not encourage you to do it if you can. Hey, it's available. He ordered them. to do it. You get court-martialed if you disobey an order from the commander-in-chief. So he ordered them to go to divine service because he knew how important faith in God was in pursuing their cause. Historians will tell you that this nation was built on the Protestant work ethic because there is an ethic, a work ethic, that's a part of Protestant Christianity based on Ephesians 4:29. Let him who steals, steal no longer, but let him work with his own hands to meet his own needs and to have something to share with others who are in need. I mean, that is right out of the New Testament. And the economy, the economic prosperity of the United States built on Protestantism. The United States has become the most prosperous nation in the history of civilization because of one thing, Protestant Christianity and the Protestant work ethic, because it emphasizes, that's what teases us off about welfare, because it is so contrary to the ethos, the moral framework on which this nation was built. It was not built on welfare. It was built on hard work, self-reliance, working with your own hands, providing for the people who were dependent upon you, reserving some to give to people who were subject to misfortune and adversity. That's always a part of Protestant Christianity, this generosity, not with other people's money. Remember, that's how liberals define compassion, is giving away other people's money. They come to you at the point of a gun, they take money out of your wallet, then they give it to somebody across the country and then pat themselves on the back for how compassionate they are. That's not compassion. That's just robbery. That's just theft under color of law. Protestantism teaches that we are to be generous with our own resources. We don't give away other people's money. We give away our own money. That's the expression of generosity under Protestantism. And realize now what's happened. You cannot get any more quintessentially American. You cannot get any more quintessentially American than to be a part of the Protestant tradition. But under this commander-in-chief, our United States military is on the verge of becoming the most strident, anti-Christian, and thus anti-American voice in the United States. President Obama and his military is becoming as anti-Christian, as Christophobic, as anti-American as the ACLU. Focal Point, AFR Talk. We'll be right back. Stay with us. We'll be back with more.